Right, good evening. Thank you very much for joining us live here on Metro TV. Of course, it is a Monday evening. And when it's a Monday evening, we come live here in the studio to talk about business. We talk about employment. We talk about economic growth. We talk about the macroeconomic indicators, everything that has to do with the development of the country for the young people of Ghana, for everybody here in Ghana. And I am seated here tonight to present to you same from all kinds of sectors, usually. So when it's entertainment, we still talk about business. When it's education, we still talk about the business of it. When it's about agriculture, of course, you know that it is what we are interested in. And so tonight, we'll be veering off into a very interesting area, something that I'm very particular about. We're hearing lots of talks about national service registration and so on and so forth, which means that very soon a crop of young people are going to come up to add up to the number of unemployed graduates that we have in the country. What's government's pursuit in trying to find these very young people jobs? We want to situate our discussions tonight on how social media can be a space that our young people can venture into. We are happy to announce to you that tonight we are going to have some veteran social media players here in the studio to educate us fairly, to educate us on the business of social media. I would have the opportunity as well to be talking about little economics here in the country because we have a financial analyst who is going to be seated also here in our seats. And you're very much aware that recently we had been downgraded as a country to CCC /C with a negative outlook. And currently, again, some 3 banks have been downgraded. How does this play into the economic performance of the country? These and many other things are what we are going to look at tonight. My name is Kyei Efri. I'll be right back. Stick and stay with us. Right, you're welcome back from the break. And it's getting excited in here already, and I'm going to be introducing to you my guest here in the studio tonight. And I'll start from my immediate left. He is Solomon Baddoo, business and financial analyst. I hope I got the name right. Good evening. Thank you very much.
Actually, my last name is Baddoo. So,
Baddoo?
Yes.
Where are you from?
Ghana. I was
You're
born
from Ghana.
here.
Which part of Ghana?
I was born here in Accra. I'm actually, my roots are from British Accra, so from Jamestown area.
From Jamestown, I would be expecting Ni, Lai.
Yes, I'm actually Ni Anan, which is my Ghanaian name, but I've been in the U.S. too long, so that's probably why you're picking up a lot of accent here.
Anyway, but you're welcome. You're welcome together. We hope to have a very interesting discussion. And then I'll go to my extreme left. I'm sure you all know him. He's a very senior man in the industry. Mr. Kobby is a blogger here in Ghana. Kobby, good evening. Thank you very much.
Good evening. Thank you so much for having me.
I love your outfit. I hope you're doing well.
Super humble. Yeah, I'm fine.
Right. Thank you very much once again. Now, let me come to my immediate right. And he's my very own man, Mr. Asare is a digital marketer. And remember that tonight we are going to get into that field. Young man, how do you veer into this space and how are you able to make money? Is it an important employment opportunity that you have to venture into? Let me welcome Eddie. Eddie, good evening. Thank you very much.
Good evening, my brother. Nice to be here.
Nice to have you in here in the studio as well. And we'll have Wode Maya on Zoom. He's a YouTuber. Well, we have him already. Wode, good evening. Thank you very much for joining us. And we are happy to have you.
Good evening, and thank you so much for having me.
We are glad to have you. I'm sure we'll have a very interesting discussions tonight. But let me come back to the studio quickly, and I'll rush back to you. Let me begin with a little on the economy of Ghana. For you, as a business and financial analyst, how do you think we are performing as a country? We've had lots of issues. There is a premise anyway. We laid the premise of Corona. We laid the premise of Ukraine-Russia war. And, of course, the effect of this imported inflation that comes from Europe, comes from the U.S., which is affecting us because we are a highly dependent economy. We are not producing and so on and so forth. So for the side of government, they are able to explain. From the side of the opposition and the people that need to understand things, you have to be able to manage the economy for us. And that is what we are interested in. For you, as an analyst, what do you think? Where are we heading towards?
So this is a good question. I believe that there are certain fundamental issues in Africa across the board that I'm actually an investment banker. I work on Wall Street, and then so I understand the financial markets in terms of what the players are on the Western world, how they look at finance, which across Africa, as I will even say, not just Ghana, we understand fundamentals, but we don't really understand the bigger picture of strategy to combat the long-term effect of the markets. So that issue, it could be even discussed further than what we can do here today. However, looking at Ghana's situation, where we are as an economic position, we are kind of like in a sore that need a Band-Aid. So you just have to get a Band-Aid on your sore first before you can actually progress to see what is out there that you can actually work on. So the economic condition here as it is, or as we understand it, is in the position that it could kind of keep cycling because regardless of which party you have in Ghana, because they only works on fundamentals. I'm actually here in Ghana to help how to structure business schools to meet the 21st century needs here. So that's part of my mission being here. Because I think that fundamentally the way our business schools are designed, it doesn't help people to really take on the big issues the way it should be done. And also on the political side of things, I don't think the players even understand how vicious. And I tell people this, the people on that side of the West, they are more dangerous than the witchcraft in Africa on the financial markets.
Why do you say so?
I say so because I am in that world. My brain works like that in that world. And I talk to people around here, they don't know what they are talking about because they don't understand.
What's happening on the Wall Street?
Because they know how to manipulate. And if you understand manipulation, what you see here, even in Ghana, is very small. So we need people who are thinking ahead for the future posterity of our continent and how we can forge. But it's also going to take the collective. One of the things that actually bothers me when I come to Africa is because we are not, the young people in Africa should be excited about the markets. However, we don't have a competitive market. So the Ghana Stock Exchange is not competitive enough for me to even think about it.
I agree.
So when you walk on the streets in the West, young people are excited about the markets. I have a 19-year-old nephew in Illinois who is excited, learning everything about the security markets, and he's going to be making money at a very young age. We're going to talk about internet, how to make money in the internet, but people are already doing this. We need to catch up on some of these things. So I believe that we need to reshape economic situation, visiting some of the things our founders have said. For example, Kwame Nkrumah said to Ghana, the independence of Ghana is meaningless unless it is linked with the total liberation of Africa. I said this when I was here at Metro last year. Because Ghana economy doing well, Togo not doing well, Nigeria not doing well, Senegal not doing well, it's no economy. You have to have an integration. And I talked to my friend, actually before I was coming here, a friend who works on Wall Street Bank with Morgan Stanley, a Guinean. And I said to him, hey, Peter, we need to have a conversation about this problem because we need to solve the problem that we have collectively, bringing African economies together. Because right now, fundamentally, my friend, African Union is even funded by European money. So all this is destroying the foundation of the African economy, Ghana economy. It's very broad than people think. It's not in one thing. So unless we are doing so many of the collective...
wasn't built by Africans. And
yes.
We'll get into that discussion. Unfortunately, today we are here because of the internet and social media discussion. So we'll have time. I'm sure we'll go into the markets. We'll go into why we are failing on the bond markets and why currently we are not being able to raise what we need to raise as a country and everything about the details of the market. So kindly indulge me. But you have mentioned that we are going to talk about making money on the internet. Let me go to the people that are making money already, and I'll come back to you. Let me start this one with Eddie, who is a digital marketer. I will begin my very first question. Is the internet a space to go? Or is the internet a space to make business or make money?
For me, I think the internet is a place to make money. That's how I've always seen it.
And how?
Well, me as a professional, I use it to market myself. And I've always said this, that the best known product beats the best. Understand? And I see the social media platforms as a leveler. It's more or less like it gives everybody else in the world a level playground where you can showcase your skill. And then based on what you're able to show people, they determine that, okay, I like this guy, I want him to do something for me. And that's how I've been able to use it as a professional to be able to market myself even in the job market. What people don't understand is you, my brother here, you are a product. And the way you position yourself on social media will determine which company comes for you. And that's what I've been doing since I started.
Should you be a marketer before? Should you understand what branding is? Should you have some kind of knowledge before you get onto social media?
Well, for me, I started before I got ready. Okay, and to be able to do this thing and succeed so well, you have to really understand branding. You have to understand marketing. You have to understand communication. You have to understand PR. You have to understand how to project yourself out there. We have something we call reputation management. Understand? That's what I also use in what I do as a digital marketer in projecting myself as a professional. So you have to start from somewhere. You can't just wait till you're ready to start off. That's what I did in my situation. I started off and I learned along the way.
I'll come back to you, but let me congratulate you on the award you won recently, the most influential changes. And
Thank you.
Congratulations to you as well.
Thank you.
Kobby, most influential change maker in blogging. I was just asking him about the branding issues. And of course, the way you are dressed, I'm sure if we are to pitch for a business right now, first consideration will be given to you. But let me ask the very first question. That is the internet a space to operate as a young person? For me, for somebody who has just completed school and so on and so forth.
Yes, thank you so much. And again, a very good evening to everyone. I feel that the internet is a big space. I've always maintained that social media is a community. Now, why am I saying that? Now, when you go to, let's take an example, it's area like Nima. It's a community. There's a police station there, there are churches there, there are markets there. You see people doing a lot of stuff there. When you move on to social media, the same way, the same thing is happening there. You have security police people online. They are marketing themselves as police people. They are health professionals on social media.
Doing TikTok now and telling us about how to keep your health and so on.
Exactly.
So I see some of those ones.
Even the malams are on social media sending friend requests. You understand?
Yes.
People, I'm sure during the COVID pandemic, a lot of things that or stuff that you bought came from the internet. And it was, worldwide. People were buying stuff. So it tells you how the internet has come to stay and how people are making money off it. Now, when we were joining social media, we joined it just because of the passion. But because of now, people have taken it as a serious business. My advice to someone is that don't just start as just joining social media. In your at the back of your mind, start social media as a business so that you know your direction. My brother here was talking about brand positioning. If you are going to buy,
I was going to come to that.
Exactly. If you are walking in town and you're going to say you're going to buy Wachi, you need somebody to tell you that this Wachi has these qualities. Go here. Go here. The moment you hear Kyei, they say brand is what they say about you when you're not in the room. That's my definition. So, for instance, if you're going to meet Kyei for the first time, if Kobby is coming on your platform for the first time,
What kind of perception are you going to form about Kobby?
exactly. So, we are in a world of audiovisuals. What people see, what people hear is what they perceive you. As a matter of fact, the life that you are living on social media describes who you are.
You know, there are people who still think that social media is not a space to get into. It's for negative, just entertainment and so on and so forth. But you guys are telling us it's a business to run into. But let me go to Wode quickly and I'll come back. I have followed you right from the time you began. You have created a certain specific niche. And almost all businesses want to be on your platform on YouTube. If you can hear me, let me welcome you once again. Let me welcome you once again and ask, what first of all motivated you to become this great YouTuber that we are all following today? And is it a space for young people to get into?
First of all, I want to say thank you so much for having me, and a big shout out to the big men in the studio. I greet you all. I'm just their baby, and it's good to, be in the same space with legends, especially Kobby. So I just want to say this. For me, I saw a space that no one wanted. I actually realized that, when it comes to Africa, I was in China that time. I had 100,000 people following me in China. And I realized that no one is talking about Africa in a positive way. Okay, so who needs to fill that gap? So I decided to take it upon myself, come back to Africa and fill that gap. When I started, I think I started in Ghana, but no one took me serious. They were like, who is this guy trying to promote Africa in a positive way? But it's a vacant space that I noticed and I just wanted to fill it up. And I never gave up. I kept on moving from one country to another until I woke up one day and I saw 10,000 people following me. And I'm like, okay, what's happening? The next day I saw another one. So within a space of 1 month, I was able to gain 50,000 subscribers who were following my channel. So already I had 100,000. So the 50,000, which makes it 150. I went to check. We have something we call bank account on YouTube. I checked it out. And then for the first time, I've never made that amount of money. And I'm like, what is going on in here? So then I realized that, you know what, Africans are ready for me. So it's time for me to stay. And I kept on developing on what I know. And since then, I've never been to China. 3 years now. I've been able to build the brand from 100,000 to 1 million subscribers right now within a period of 3 months. So, 3 years, which is amazing, man.
I think you're doing a very great job. Some of us here in Africa haven't really well accepted the use of internet. You see some churches previously condemning even going online until COVID came. Let me ask what the challenges primarily or practically have been for you. I'll come back to the studio to ask the people here in the studio. But for you, what has been the challenges, especially in Africa? Are you moving from one country to the other, even in spaces where there are no internet, but you are still creating content?
Yeah. I think so many people do not understand how social media works. I'm going to give you a definition for social media.
Right.
ATM machine.
ATM machine.
A social media account, it's an ATM machine. Let's say, let me talk about myself. Like my YouTube channel that I have, it's like a walking ATM, right? So a walking ATM, what do you have to do? You just have to fill up with content despite the challenges. When you come to Africa, the first challenge is Africans looking down upon an African, knowing that, okay, you're on social media, which means that you're a school dropout. So for me, I don't know, if you guys see how I dress, I deceive so many people with my appearance. And I don't want you to even, you see how Kobby is dressed in the studio? When you see me and Kobby walking, you might think that, I think this guy is a driver for Kobby. So that is how I managed to deceive people with my appearance. So when you see me, you judge me in the first place. But what I can do for you, I think you won't believe that it's the same guy who was dressed this way, who was able to do this for you. And another challenge that I just want to say is that, in Africa, when you are creating content with cameras, people will tell you that cameras are not allowed, but your phone is allowed.
Yeah.
But I have a phone that takes 4K videos, which has exactly the same quality as the camera.
Wow.
And they don't believe in us. They don't believe that we are the people that needs to tell the stories. See, I want to tell you some of my major challenges when I started this whole creating of videos in Ghana.
Fair enough.
I don't want to mention names, but I went to several companies in Ghana and I pleaded with them that, hey, is it possible for me to promote your brand? Just allow me. I just want to promote you. You know what they told me? They told me that, if you are looking for somebody to promote our business, that you are not the right person to promote the business. Okay, I'm like, okay, I'm doing this for free. I'm not even charging you. And they will tell you that, you know what, CNN has interviewed us already. BBC has interviewed us already, so we don't need you. But these are the same companies that are now reaching out. So guess what? It's no longer going to be free. And my price is so high, by the way. So my price is so high.
Yeah.
You know, so it is what it is. These are the challenges that so many content creators are facing. But for me, whether you judge me or not, I mean, I know that I'm a walking, how do you call it? Walking influencer. I don't know how to call it. I move from one country to another, doing my thing in my own way, whether you like me or not. Yeah.
That's one of the biggest problems we have in our country and in Africa here. He makes a very important point. People looking down on people. And this is the kind of conscience we have all grown up with. We need to be in a certain kind of job. We need to be in a certain kind of dressing. We need to be in a certain kind of space. But let me come back to you. You are in the financial markets. You are in the pure business field. The use of social media. Some banks were not using it before, but now you see that their presence on social media, their relationship with customers, and even getting onto the markets is improving. Is it a space that everybody should get into?
Absolutely, absolutely. Because I mean, the world is going to be driven by the social market space. So whether you are a financial institution or you are just bloggers like my friends here, that is the space that you can be able to utilize to optimize your business, to kind of create visualization for what you're doing so people can see. So there's so much that I believe that social media is here to stay. It's going to revolutionize our world in so many spaces. So it's not just for people in the banking industry. This is for everyone that wants to leverage opportunity to increase, their net worth or to increase their market share on whatever they are working on. So that's kind of how I see it, that everybody should look at it. Like our brother, he has found a way to kind of leverage it. I would like to even hear what my friends are doing on their own unique style, because that's everybody has their own way of doing it. So do it your style, but the opportunities are there to leverage to increase.
So let me come back to you now, Eddie. What, for you as a marketer, purely, the challenges that you have encountered? Because everybody thought that, for example, if you had an advert, come on air, come on Metro TV, come and pay us for LPM, let's do LPMs for you. But now you take over the space and you're doing a very great job for yourself, for companies, for everybody else. The challenges, as I asked Mr. Maya, what have been the challenges primarily for you, and how have you overcome it?
Okay, so when it comes to the digital marketing space, you get a business owner coming to you. Edward, I want you to blow up my business to reach so many people. I want it to go viral. Okay, can you bring a budget? I have 100 cities.
So the financing of it.
Yes, so they want to use small money to get big results. And, when the youngsters mostly, when they enter the space and they want to make money, they end up stressing themselves up because they take that 100 cities and then this person is expecting like 1 million impressions, and you can't give that person that. So they think that maybe you are being inefficient. So these are some of the things that we face in the space. People don't really give enough money when it comes to pricing.
They don't price it well.
Exactly. And it's now that people are now putting some value on the craft. When I started off, when you tell somebody you're a social media manager, they'll be like, so when are you going to look for a better job? You understand? They don't understand that this is actually a full-time job.
Yes, a lot of people don't think it's a
and
job.
what I want youngsters to know is, well, most of the panelists here are influencers, Wode, Kobby, but you could actually make money off social media without even being known that much. Some of the best social media managers I know don't really have so much followers. If you are able to know how to use the platforms, manage it, so you can just go to a company, pitch for them, and you become a social media manager. You are not an influencer, but you're still making the money. So that's some of the notions I want people to take off when it comes to making money off social media.
Note that I will be coming back to you on how it actually works.
Right.
I mean, there are people who think that because I am on TV, I should be able to manage their social media space for them. Oh, and then once I'll go the video, now they are to Facebook for us, and maybe just promote it. And that's the kind of mindset people have, that once you put it on and you promote, it should be working, or once you put it on. But I'm sure in the content creation, there is a strategy behind it, like Wode is doing. He created a specific niche that he's working on, that everybody gets interested, and then we begin to jump on, not just because he wanted to be on YouTube or not just because he wanted to market. But let me go to Kobby. You have a very big brand here in Ghana. Everybody is following you. Once any news, and there is this news from the Minister of Information, which I'll bring back to you later on, that they are competing for the space with you. So once there is a breakout of news, everybody is coming on your platform to see. What has been the challenges from the beginning till now?
Thank you so much. So my brother Wode mentioned finding the niche. So when I started years ago, I noticed that most or some of the bloggers, majority of the bloggers were just following sensationalism and the gossip side of blogging. And so I sat down, I look at the space, and I'm like, there are a lot of things that personally I can also do in terms of social issues and also selling our artists in a positive way. I'm not saying, the bloggers are not doing that, but just go on the street and just do a voice box and just ask, what's your general perception about blogging? They will tell you that, oh, gossip. True or false? It's true. Yes, exactly.
So let me admit and own up that some of us have even thought the same way.
Exactly.
And if you are looking for information on this woman, for example, the name has just escaped me. Go to Kobby's page. Go to
this guy's page.
Go to this guy's page. And then you.
But please don't mention my name.
If you are looking for information on Agrada,
yes.
I mean, those kind of sensationalism,
So,
those issues.
I wouldn't blame the companies that actually disappointed Wode. It's because of the mere fact that the people who actually started this whole blogging and YouTube thing pushed the narrative of sensationalism and negativity and all this narration. So it makes it very difficult for you to just own up and say you're a blogger and you're walking up to a company to say that Metro TV, I'm a blogger, give me this contract. It will be difficult. So I came in, I said, no, let me find my niche and move into social issues and addressing some significant issues in our space. So guess what? I don't have that numbers on YouTube that Wode has, but somebody in the States or a Ghanaian in the States or an African in the States will just send me and tell me, send me money, like huge money, and say that I am from the Bono region. Go there. I've discovered this story. Go and do it and put it on the internet. These bridges have collapsed. Go and put a spotlight on it. And the moment I do it, it gets fixed. These roads are bad. Go and cover it. And so that's my area. So I feel that one of the challenges is that the people are not actually finding their niche when it comes to blogging. I've always said that there's a lot of spaces. Everybody now wants to be entertainment blogging. Entertainment blogging. Entertainment. Today this person has done that. Today this person. Who is going to fill the gap or the space of health blogging, agriculture blogging, technology blogging, transport blogging?
Let me put you on the spot. I'll put you same. And what they note this question down. I'll come back to you because you have a niche and because of your followership. I have been watching everything that you put online. So I will have this question for you. You are experts and we have brought you here in the studio. Have you tried mobilizing the people in the industry to train them? For example, you are talking about focusing on agri, which will bring out lots of issues in our agricultural space.
Exactly.
Support the economy and grow the economy. Have you trained people? Have you thought of it? Have you planned bringing all of these people together or even young people? Maybe you want to partner with the Youth Employment Agency, for example, to train people in the social media space, in developing agri, in developing education, in developing transport, in developing aviation. Have you thought about that yet?
First of all, in my own capacity as a blogger, I mean, Edward and all my followers can attest to the fact that I do a lot of social media workshops.
Right, okay.
Social media workshops, social media seminars in senior high schools, because those are the people that will come to the job market. They will move to the universities and finally move to being a career woman or a career man or something like that. So these are my target. I feel that I've done a lot when it comes to social media workshops. Again, Metro TV is a big platform and I want to use this opportunity. You mentioned the National Youth Agency and the National Youth Employment and all these agencies. I feel that they must also not undermine our capacities, our values, our volumes. I feel that government agencies must partner with bloggers and social media influencers, especially those who are doing the good job. Recently, we had the World Youth Day or National
Youth Day.
I got a notification that there's a program going on which a person is coming in Ekropon, that area. It was organized, we charged them. The next day, when I was just about getting dressed, I got a call that one of the big men said, no, we don't need bloggers again. Meanwhile, this is a National Youth Day. Imagine, nobody even knows about it. So all the time, the agencies organize programs quietly. Fine, it is good to invite Metro TV and the other big platform, but what about the people online? What are we doing to them?
The youth are online. We should know
Exactly.
that. Government should know that. And that is what brings me to the Minister of Information made a certain profound statement recently. He said that government information is competing for space with bloggers, marketers, and social media users. So when they put out something from government, for example, infrastructure going on in the Ashanti region or infrastructure going on in the eastern region, they have people not reading because people are attending to what is happening on the bloggers' pages. And you are bringing it up that they are not using your platforms.
Exactly.
They are using only... Don't you think government should look into this space and probably support them?
Absolutely. So I look at it from two perspectives. So one, I look at it from a position of what does the media or the information institution represent in the nation. So, for example, if you are a government, but you are also tied to certain things that only probably more political in many sense. These bloggers are not there to take your space because we do need people who can also give us independent information from what the mainstream is given. So I believe that we need to create opportunity for all. We can't just say we are only creating a 20th century system where it's only an information government institution only controlling the entire space. We need to have people in the private sector, even in the United States where I live, people on the private sector or independent people create a lot of, information, bring a lot of information to the citizens. And I believe that that space should also be given to people here in Ghana.
I'm coming to you, Wode, but let me read these few messages and then I'll come and ask you about the training and whether you are planning on collaborating with maybe national institutions or governments here in Africa, not only in Ghana because of the way you are operating. So someone says, the digital economy, what sort of investment should the government concentrate on in the digital space? You didn't add your name. This one says, what are the opportunities available for entrepreneurs in the digital space? And please note these ones down, and I'm sure I'll bring them back to you. So the person is asking, what are the opportunities available for entrepreneurs in the digital space? Is it easy to make money online? Yes, they have told us, but how to go about it, they will be telling us pretty shortly. What kind of skills or educational qualifications are required to enter the space? Is Africa ready to join the global digital move? That's a question. Please add your name when you send your question. Using social media to change the African narrative globally. To Wode Maya. Thank you very much, Wode Maya, for how you have used social media to change the narrative. What has been one of your most challenging adventures as a YouTuber? This question, I'm sure, okay, so it continues that of the Wode Maya one. So I'm sure this question comes back to you. Good evening, sir. I just love the topic of discussion. I'm a recent graduate seeing it was posted about tonight's discussion and couldn't wait to watch. Andre from Tuba, okay, thank you very much. Ask Kobby, what made him change his strategy? Has his rebranding made any difference or reduced his followership? That's a question to you, Kobby. Please, I'm Frank. I have started as a blogger. I need more education and guidance. Connect me with any of the panelists who will be ready to help me. Well, we'll try as much as possible, but we'll have a discussion after the show. What class of companies or categories of brands has he worked? Please, let's see so we can also come to him. I'm sure this is to you, Eddie. All the ones with the Winston's questions for you. All right. Nana Ekwama Boatin Ablekuma Central, a.k.a. E-Levy is good, says, good evening, Nakwesi. Digitalization is the new kid on the block. Let's use social media effectively rather than slaying. Nana Ekwama Boatin Ablekuma Central, a.k.a. Levy is good, sent in that one. Well, let me come to you now. The question, first of all, on training and whether there are prospects of collaborating with institutions, maybe government institutions, to train young people, because our focus is to create further employment where the opportunities that are there in the space. What's the plan?
Personally, I've done a lot of workshop. I've trained a lot of people in terms of how to tell the African story. Because when I started this whole project of Africa to the world, changing the narrative about Africa, it was so tough for one person to do it alone. So I had to train a lot of people. I think most content creators across the continent, you might see my fingerprint in their content. But one thing that I think it's a challenge is that people don't know that with content like this, it takes time. You see, I always tell people that being an entertainment blogger or being an entertainment vlogger is one of the easiest thing to do, because don't forget that the brand that you're building, you have a support of. Let's say you want to talk about Shatawale, you want to talk about Sakwade, you want to talk about trending issues. Yeah, it's easy for the channel to grow so fast. But I call those content fast food content. You know, when it comes to fast food content, it doesn't pay. I'm so sorry, man. It doesn't pay. I mean, you might make your money in a day,
That's a fact.
but trying to train people so that they get used to evergreen content. Like as I'm sitting here, maybe I might be sleeping today, but I'm still making money for just sleeping. You know why? Because you're creating content that is valuable for the future. And this is what so many people don't have patience for. I keep on telling people, it took me, what the brand that I built, that's like 8 years. It took me like, 2 years to get 1,000 people to follow me. But I knew where I was going. So I had to stay calm, read how things work, study the environment, and go with the right niche. So I'm just going to encourage more people, in as much as you want to make money on the internet, let the passion and the drive take you to wherever you want to go to. So we might teach you what you want to do, because I think recently I posted on one of my social media handles that can we get more youth in Africa talking about agriculture, talking about finance, talking about,
Exactly.
things that, we, the youth need. But everyone is talking about, okay, if Schwarzenegger said this, and then we are all jumping on it. So I think I will agree with Kobby if he will, join hands together for us to change, the face of social media in the Ghanaian society. I'll be so happy, because I'm just tired of every day opening my phone and somebody's talking about a celebrity. For me, they are not content. They're not content for me. I always tell people, think about evergreen instead of fast food. If you want to know how it works, I'm available. I can teach you how it works, because you can be sleeping and be making money. It's not about always have to wait for somebody to. So let's say if Shatawale don't say anything, you don't have content. No.
Exactly, no.
So I think it's also about the kind of information that your content is providing. Because I, for instance, will come to your page and look out for certain tourism centers here in Ghana. Some of them that I may not even have heard of before I watched a video from you, or the kind of setup that certain tourism centers here in Ghana. I watched one like that on the big hotel in the Eastern region, and I realized, well, we have these kind of details here. So if I'm receiving any kind of guest outside the country, obviously I go back to the video to have an assessment of it, and I'm able to provide information to my people. So is it the case that the information that it has to provide, not just the content, is also very crucial?
No. The content is around us.
Yes.
But we don't see value in the content around us, because no one is talking about it. Let's talk about our village life. Our daily life. You might think that you are used to your daily life, but somebody in America, somebody in the US have never seen, this kind of lifestyle. I think, let me tell you something, COVID changed my life, man. And I'm so sorry, a lot of people died during COVID, but I keep on saying that COVID made me who I am today. Because before COVID, I was just traveling all the time, just traveling. 8 months, I couldn't travel. I was stuck in Ghana. I'm like, what can I do? That is when I realized that all the content that I travel around the world just to go and search for, they are all in my own backyard. I just woke up one morning and I decided to share my village life experience. Living in the village. I've never done any content like that. The next 1 month, I saw 700,000 people.
Wow.
Viewed a video of just me waking up from my own house, washing my face, telling people that I brush my teeth with charcoal, and I mean, the content was equal.
Wow.
Secondly, what I did was I've never been to Kumasi. So I went to Kumasi for the first time, which is during COVID. Even my mom was scared, like, why are you going to Kumasi? It's COVID. I mean, you might die or something like that. And I'm like, you know what? I'm so bored because I'm used to traveling. I went to Kumasi. You know Lake Bosumtwi?
Yes.
I went to Lake Bosumtwi and I saw a woman who built a resort. And I asked her, how long did it take you to build this resort? She said, it took me 4 years to buy the land. I'm like, you know what? Can I share your story? That was my first time of interviewing somebody. I woke up the next day, the video was everywhere. And since then, I built a whole career out of it, interviewing entrepreneurs from Kumasi. And that alone built me my first house. That alone bought me my first ever apartment. That alone, I mean, introduced me to so many billionaires that sometimes when I even see them, I'm like, I don't deserve to be here. But these people invite you to their houses. And I keep on telling young Africans, humility is the key. No matter what you've achieved, humble yourself. I mean, it doesn't take anything out of you.
Right.
But I think we are so filled up with arrogance because we think we are in the modern age right now, so we can say whatever we want to say. Yeah, but it is what it is. Use social media wisely.
Yes.
And trust me.
Yes.
You can keep your life.
Yes, right. So thank you very much. Unfortunately, our time is running very, very fast. But let me come to you, Eddie. And someone passed a comment. Use it wisely instead of slaying. How do I get to use social media to make money? I mean, briefly, in kind of a summary, what are the things we need to do? Maybe some kind of steps. I am thinking currently of putting the three of you together. Maybe find a partnership with one of the government institutions, and then in collaboration with Metro TV, we put together a training. But everywhere in the training, what would you tell the young people?
Okay, so one of the ways to make money out of social media is becoming an influencer. So Kobby sitting down right now is a brand influencer for caveman watchers. Why did they come to him? Because he has an audience, and they want to tap into his audience.
So some time ago, I actually thought caveman watches were for him before I realized he was a brand ambassador.
Exactly. So that's one of the ways to make money out of using social media. Some people are fortunate by using social media, they get so popular. You understand? So somebody like Wode is now an influencer because of social media. Other bloggers who are there, Ameya Debra and the other folks are also
Zion
there.
Felix and
Exactly.
all of those guys.
Exactly. Another way to make money out of social media is through management. So you can manage somebody's social media for the person, and then you could make money. There are a lot of businesses in the country, a lot of small businesses who are looking for social media managers, okay, just to create content and post it for them, interact with the people on there. Another way to make money out of social media is by blogging. Okay, so you blog and then you share the content on your pages. You can actually monetize your page by, for instance, Facebook, for instance, you can use instant articles to get money out of blogging. Okay, you can also use Google Ads to get money out of blogging on social media. And these are some of the ways that I've been able to use to make money out of social media.
Right. So let me come to you, and then I'll give the final words to our financial analyst. Simply, what are the ways that we will need to pursue if we want to make money? And I'm sure you promise us that we will bring you back again to the studio, because this discussion, unfortunately, our time is not enough for it.
So I think Idea has touched on almost all the thing, but one of the things that I also stress on, and we mentioned earlier on, is the fact that you need to find your niche and be available for a lot of opportunities. Because finding your niche, the fact that Wode will just wake up and say, let me just go to Zimbabwe wearing chalwete, doesn't mean that it will work for you. Because I cannot.
Right.
It doesn't mean that I'm looking down upon him or he's looking down upon me. Find your niche and know exactly what works for you. That is what I would say. Find your niche and make sure that you have time. If you really want to build a social media for yourself, have time and build it. Lastly, I had the opportunity to meet the vice president. And I asked him that, why is it that a lot of people, someone sent a message that, is there any course or program that can be studied to, venture into social media? To date, the curriculum has no, we don't have anything related to social media in it.
And we are in the world of digitization.
Yes, the VP or the vice president is championing this course. And to date, senior high school children are on social media all the time. The universities, they are joining TikTok and social media. And in under GES, they don't have anything about social media, knowing that digitalization is the future. And I feel sorry about it. I feel that Metro TV is big. Let me use your platform to tell the leaders, they must be generational thinkers. They must know that in the next years to come, it is even happening. What are we teaching the young ones coming? They are already on social media. They must add social media to the curriculum.
Unfortunately, we'll not be able to talk about the negatives of social media, but I promise that when we bring them back again, we'll be doing that. Your final words, and we're out of here. Our time is up, actually.
Well, I really commend my brother here with his comments here. I believe fundamentally we have to change how business schools are designed, and which will include social media as a course or as a degree or certification one can acquire in your studies. So that will be what I will conclude in this term, that let's open up for the young people. We should be generational thinkers. We should be thinking 21st. What are other people doing and increasing the market share? So let's give them the opportunity to make some money, because life is hard in Ghana right now.
Right, thank you very much. So if you're watching me right now, you would see a very young man by my side. One or two more messages. Good evening. Wode is doing a wonderful job by selling Africa to the whole world. Before I sleep every night, I watch one of his videos before. We need the likes of Wode in Africa. God bless Wode. Mr. Host, how can I be linked up with a guy on Zoom and the two guys in your studio? What qualification do I need to be introduced to the business of social media? There are too many questions. Somebody is attacking me for not announcing the numbers that they can text on and call today. Too many of them coming up. But unfortunately, we are not able to pick up. Thank you very much, gentlemen. We have a surprise for one of our guests, and that is why you see this young man beside me. What's your name?
Brian at.
What are you bringing to us tonight?
I think it's a surprise. So
Surprise to
Mr. Kobby.
To Mr. Kobby. Well, so let's walk to him if the cameras can pick us. Mr. Kobby. I don't know what this is. What did you say your name? Right. So there you go, a presentation for one of our guests tonight. Wow. If the cameras can pick it.
Thank you.
Or maybe I may have to, before it's presented, send it back to my camera very well for everybody to see. So yeah, what's the name again? Brian Art. Wow, there's a very young man who is doing this, or who has done this very beautiful thing for one of our guests. It's actually a surprise. So we'll make a presentation to him, and then we will round up with the show. So you can come for it, and I'm sure we can all join in honoring our dear brother Kobby. Say, maybe our financial analyst will make the presentation to him. Yeah, let's do that. Right. Wow. So maybe a handshake will do it, then we can round up. God bless you. All right, so viewers, this is how we end today's show. A presentation to Kobby.